Hey, my name is James. Welcome back to WICR. And today in the voice box, Mike, how have you been? Let's start with that before anything else happens. How are you?
I'm still here. I'm surviving just barely, but I'm here still.
Yeah, just barely. So some quick delays, a lot of quick delays. It's been a while since we've been in here doing our little thing,
And now we have this creature
and
right here.
now someone has
Creature.
someone has stolen our spot since
Yep.
we've been in here. Your name is Chris. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. How about you guys?
I'm doing all right. Good to be back. Honestly, I'm happy to be back. All right, we have a lot today, Mike.
We do have a lot to
You sent me a
unpack.
plan, so I'll let you run through the plan, but let's
All right.
hear it.
So the big two we got is Moon Knight just premiered. First episode's out on Disney Plus, starring Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight and Ethan Hawke as the villain. Then we also got the Grammys to go through. A lot of weird winners, I think, people I've never heard of. And then also, well, we didn't get to talk about the Oscars at all, I had to brush up on that. That was a pretty big one, and I mean, we'll see how else we go. We'll see where else we go.
Yeah, there's been a lot that's happened and a lot that we haven't been able to talk about. But I did, just to go through. I watched Moon Knight. I didn't watch the Grammys, but I did brush up on some of the winners because, of course, a lot of them ended up trending. One of my favorites, Tyler, he took one home, and then he caused some social media drama, so that's always fun. But I did see Moon Knight, and I did see the first episode.
And Chris, what have you seen so far?
Honestly, nothing. I'm here for the show right now. I want to see what's going on.
Oh, you got a front row ticket.
I'm on a front row seat.
We're taking the rock off him. You're no longer going to live under a rock. We're going to give you the rundown and tell you what to think of all of these major media things. And if you should like them, or more importantly, which ones it's okay to hate.
All right, perfect. What about, let's start with, was it Moon Knight?
Yeah, so Moon Knight is the newest Marvel installment, I guess, another Disney Plus series. I think it's really interesting. Moon Knight is a very interesting character in the comics. It deals a lot with like Egyptian mythology because obviously he gets his powers from like an Egyptian goddess. And then also, I think it's very different from Marvel. Marvel usually, for like the last 11 years or so, have been big bad guy, exploding buildings, a lot of clips, a lot of funny jokes, and then that's it. And then now with stuff like Loki and WandaVision, now Moon Knight, I feel like we're finally breaking away from that formula that kind of got repetitive. So I'm definitely hyped to see it. And I mean, it's gory. It's like the Netflix Marvel shows like Punisher and Daredevil. So I'm more than hyped for this. I can't wait until the next episode comes out next week.
All right, that's good. No, I just been noticing Marvel's been like breaking off with everything recently. Instead of staying with like a movie series, they've been like franchising a little bit differently. They've been going to a more episode approach.
Yeah.
I think it's more interesting, just because you always seen like all the Iron Man movies and it's just all chronologically leading up to everything. They could still do the same thing, but I guess keeping everyone on the edge throughout each week. It's not like, oh, we gotta wait a couple of years and the edge just kind of dies off. Now it's like we have like a constant reoccurrence of what's to come next. But now it's not a yearly basis, just again weekly basis.
Yeah, I think we have the Mandalorian to thank for that, because remember the Mandalorian was like the biggest show of like that year, and that was, Star Wars has always been movies, but then when they broke away from that and just did weekly episodes, the Mandalorian blew up. Everyone was watching it, even non-Star Wars fans were watching that.
Yeah, it definitely comes from having having the ability to do it, because Marvel is like no other. Like you can't really compare it to like a lot of other things. The only other thing you can compare it to is something like Star Wars, just these two large universes, but more importantly, just like the lore. Like the TV shows are by no means like revolutionary in what they do, but they were just revolutionary in the fact that you're right. It stopped being let's wait another like 1 or 2 years to see these plot lines get like refreshed. Now you have to wait so long because you have to wait for the next crossover to happen. You have to wait to see the next giant. Everything has to have this long big thing, and it has to take place over 7 millions, if not billions of dollars.
They're already plotting the movies that come out in like 2025.
Yeah, so I just think I really like this because it's expanding it, and it's broadening. And like you said too, I know people that, maybe aren't the biggest fans of the movies, but because it's on demand on Disney Plus, like even just going practically, like you're scrolling through Disney Plus, it's already a big streaming service. And of course people are bound to, I never really wanted to watch the the movies, but what's a 20-minute episode? You know,
Exactly.
like what's 20 minutes to just see like this character that like I think I've heard about. I don't know, like someone I know talks about him a lot. So I think it's been a great move. I personally have loved all the Marvel shows. I think WandaVision, even for all of its like issues
Mhm.
and quirks, I really like it. Like I stand by the fact that like if I had to watch it again, I would definitely pick which episodes I watch. But overall, like I have to say that I'm pretty happy with the direction
Yeah,
that Marvel has
definitely.
been going.
I mean, I would love for Moon Knight, because Moon Knight, his character in the comics, he's actually Jewish and his father's a rabbi, yet he gets his powers from an Egyptian god. And obviously, Jews in Egypt don't really have a good track record. So they actually touch on that relationship in the comics. And I would love to see that, something complex like that, in the show on live action.
Yeah, and so just real quick to go do the rundown for everyone who doesn't know, Moon Knight is a famous character from the Marvel comics, who, like you said, son of a rabbi. I just have the Wikipedia pulled up. Just figure, just
Yeah.
in case people are like, I have no idea what you're talking about and have never seen the show. Mark Spector served as a Marine and briefly as a CIA operator before becoming a mercenary alongside his friend. So what happens is at the end, long story short, like you said, he gets his powers from he like dies. You know, it's that classic like died, resurrected from an Egyptian god. Definitely more in depth than what I'm going over. But he gets his powers from an Egyptian god, and he suffers from the big thing is from his split personality. So he has like multiple personalities, and then they're all complete different people.
Mhm.
So the one that we were introduced to in the first episode was Steven.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac is playing all of them, but or no, actually, I don't even think he was Mark Spector. But anyway, Oscar Isaac is playing Steven. And Steven is just one of the several personalities. So we were talking
Mhm.
about this beforehand, where the first episode is really nice because it to show that he's a different person, it just cuts to black but it doesn't show you what he's doing as a different person. It just shows you everything from the point of view of Steven. So when Steven's awake and doing all of the really boring stuff, like he has a 9 to 5, you see Steven do his 9 to 5. Then he's like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep, and then wakes up in a field.
Yeah.
During that time that he was asleep and during like the blackout and everything, that's when Mark has been out doing Mark stuff, doing the Moon Knight stuff. But you don't see that in the first episode, which is just really interesting. Like it was just a fun thing to sort of keep you.
All right. So to break away from Marvel, because we always do Marvel, because Marvel always has something new going on every time we do the show. I'm going into Grammys. I'm going to do something for you, Chris. So you listen to music. You're a human.
Yeah.
So I'm going to list off all these nominees in certain categories, and you're going to try and guess which one actually won. Okay. So for Grammy for Best Rap Album, the nominees were The Off Season by J. Cole, Certified Lover Boy by Drake, King's Disease 2 by Nas, Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler, the Creator, and Donna by Kanye West. Which ones of these do you think won?
Well, I know which one you would have probably wanted to win.
You know exactly which one I would have picked.
Kanye.
Exactly.
Overrated, but
okay. Well,
let's see.
You're gonna go through that window.
I'm going to say Drake. I haven't watched the Grammys. I'm just taking a guess. So who won that category?
Who won?
It was actually his boy, Tyler, the Creator. Call Me If You Get Lost. Grammy winner, Best Rap Album of the Year.
Oh, really? I feel like he's very underrated. I don't hear much about him.
Exactly. I have not listened to any Tyler, the Creator, if I'm being honest. This is like, okay, now I have to give in because he's a Grammy winner now. Now, actually, I heard that when he won, they didn't televise it for some reason. Like you couldn't watch that part. It was just, I guess, during a commercial break, that's when they did it, which is very odd to me.
Yeah, I know, because he wasn't there. He's on tour for Call Me If You Get Lost right now, so he couldn't even be there. So he did his acceptance speech. Like you can find the video on Twitter. Like he was literally just out with his friends when he won because he's on tour for Call Me If You Get Lost. So I know he couldn't be there physically in person to receive it. So I don't know if I didn't know that they didn't even play it, but I do know he wasn't even.
What would you say? I know a lot of people say Igor is his best album.
Yes.
Is that his best one definitively? Is that where I should start?
If you want to start with Call Me If You Get Lost, people say that Call Me If You Get Lost is better than Igor. It depends, because a lot of his stuff is all like, it's almost like each one is a little different.
Yeah.
Each one's a little different from the last. Igor is what put him like well, like Yonkers is what put him on the map. But like to get into his mainstream stuff, like if you really want to go through Flower Boy, that's one of my favorite albums. That's his earliest album. In all honesty, Tyler the Creator being my number one artist, so unbiased opinion, I think you should listen to all of his albums all the way through, no skips. But if you really just want like a place to start, if you want to start with Call Me If You Get Lost, you can. If you want to start with Igor, you very much can. And if you want to do Flower Boy, you can. They're all just considered greats in their own respects.
All right, let's go on to the next category, Chris. For best rap performance, we have Family Ties by Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar, Up by Cardi B, My Life by J. Cole and 21 Savage, and then this Megan Thee Stallion song, which title I cannot say because it's cursing. So which one of those do you think won?
Let's see. You said Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion,
J. Cole, and then Baby Keem, Kendrick Lamar, Family Ties.
I'm gonna say Kendrick Lamar.
You are correct. Family Ties by Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar wins best rap performance at the Grammys. Yo, I mean,
Good song.
it's a really good song. What's the other one? It's Family Ties, and then there's one more duo song that they have that's really good. It's like, is Family Ties one goes top in the morning, top in the morning?
I think that is the one, yeah.
There's one. I think there's one more that I'm blanking on right now. I'm just happy to hear Kendrick Lamar again because he's been on hiatus since like 2017. So any opportunity to hear literally a top 5 of all time is something I want to hear.
Did you enjoy April 1st with his new album that dropped? Did you enjoy April 1st when he was trending? Because him and Frank Ocean. I got notifications that where him and Frank Ocean are releasing a joint album together.
April
For April
Fools.
Fools.
Yeah,
April
exactly.
Fools.
So funny. Yep, I love playing with my emotions. Okay, so now another category. We're going to do maybe like 1 or 2 more, so I'm not going to bore you to death. We got best rap song. We got Bath Salts by DMX, Jay-Z, and Nas. Best Friend by Sweetie and Doja Cat. Family Ties by Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar. Jail by Kanye West and Jay-Z. And finally, My Life by J. Cole and 21 Savage.
By J. Cole.
Yeah, J. Cole got nominated a lot. And I feel like he always gets nominated a lot, but he doesn't really win that much.
You said what? You said J. Cole and Kanye?
Yeah, and then there's also Doja Cat, Kendrick Lamar.
You know what? I'll do this one for you. I'm gonna say Kanye and J. Cole, just for you.
It's Kanye West and Jay-Z, but you are correct.
Oh, Jay-Z,
Jail.
my
Yeah.
bad.
Oh,
So-
Jail won something?
Yeah, Jail won best rap song at the Grammys. So
That's awesome.
I'm hyped because obviously, like, I feel like it's more than a song because we haven't heard them together since like Watch the Throne, and then they had a huge fallout and all that. I mean, honestly, I guess it is kind of like the best song here. I mean, I didn't listen to the Doja Cat one because I'm not a big Doja Cat fan.
How hyped were
She's
you?
pretty good.
Oh my god, I remember where I was during the listening party when I first heard Jay-Z get on. I probably woke everyone up in my house because I was screaming at 3 a.m.
That's awesome, dude.
You're shot.
That's awesome to hear. It's a really good song. I still probably from the album, that's definitely one of the ones that when I
Oh,
go
yeah, that's
through,
definitely one of the best
I
ones.
always have to make sure I play that one at some point.
All right, so just to breeze through the rest of the Grammys, I believe Olivia Rodrigo, she won like 3 or 5. She won a ton actually.
Oh, I saw the
Really?
picture.
Yeah.
She's doing the thing where she has
Yeah,
all of them
exactly.
and she's sitting like this.
She's only 19.
She's sitting like
Only
this.
9th. What is she like?
And okay, so I was talking about this. One album.
Yeah, one album.
Sour. It's still sour. Driver's license. You remember driver's license? They're still doing.
Don't remind me.
She's
Yeah,
still getting.
she won
awards
Best New
for it.
Artist,
I
Best
haven't-
Pop Solo Performance with Driver's License.
Yeah, like she's still
Um,
getting awards for it, and it was one of those albums where like I saw it and was like, okay, like it's just probably not my album. Then it took off. Now she has a movie, and I'm like,
She's a movie?
I feel like I should listen to the album.
Not my taste in music, personally.
Yeah.
It's not my taste in music.
It's
but I-
very. I don't know. Like the tone is either very depressing or it's like you try to be happy, but you just get even more sad. I can't. Every
I
time
should-
in the car with my girlfriend, I cannot listen to it anymore because she overplays it to me, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done.
No,
I
but-
hate this person.
But tell me not. That's definitely been us like trying to defend like Juice to people. Like when I put on like Juice World and it's like his 7th like song about being sad.
I
for
got
no
kicked out the
reason.
car, bro.
I have to-
I'm not
I
listening
have
to
to just
that.
turn to people and be like, it's more than music.
No, I'm
I
like,
like Juice World.
if I'm in the car, I want like hype music because I'm not advocating speeding. However,
It always
sometimes you
goes
get lost in the sauce in the car.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Okay, so another big winners was Silk Sonic, the Bruno Mars and
Boom.
Anderson Paak, I want to say.
I know it's Bruno. know.
I know definitely it's Bruno Mars. They won like 3, I want to say.
Bruno Mars is the man. I love
Bruno
him.
Mars
listen to
makes
the
music
album?
for everyone. I won't lie.
I love Bruno Mars.
Yeah. The Silk Sonic apparently is like very like 70s funky soul sound, and a lot of people are saying that either during their speech or after the speech they partook in various substances that were common in the 70s. That's the running joke right now.
The joke.
Yeah, the joke.
The joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I think Bruno Mars fits that category. Like, whenever you hear one of these songs, it's very hip hop, very positive.
Yeah.
Also, like,
Yeah.
it kind of goes back to that. I feel like it goes back to that a little bit. Some of his songs, it's very like,
Mhm.
I don't want to say retro. It just kind of fits like
Yeah,
our time period, but also it can go back a little bit.
I loved like the suits they wore. They wore like really like 70s haircuts, and like they went all out with that. Like they got like the 70s like I guess blazers or whatever these was, these sharp like collars and stuff. It looked really nice.
Yeah, I never listened to Silk Sonic. However, I do know someone who's a very big advocate of it. But I just didn't know, because when I heard it was Bruno Mars, I assumed the same thing, where I was like, okay, like it's gonna be one of those songs that like I just hear on the radio.
Yeah, like my mom
You know,
listens to Bruno
like,
Mars.
I can like put this on. I didn't know that he was like not to put him down as an artist, but I didn't know that he was like making like very serious like commanded albums. Like I always just thought he made like hits that go on the radio.
Exactly. He makes
Honestly, I
radio
thought the
music.
same thing.
Yeah,
really.
like something that you can bump at the Super Bowl, Like if your mom is in the car, you can be like, I'm gonna put Bruno Mars on and not like immediately just get told that I'm a disappointment. Like,
No,
that's
I don't need Bruno Mars to be told I'm a disappointment by my mom.
Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah, I tell you that too.
all right. So how'd the Grammys do overall? Or we got another category?
No, that's pretty much it for that's like the big stuff with the Grammys I want to touch on. To be honest, the consensus was like when the Grammys were going on, people were like, oh, the Grammys going on. Like no one was like, everyone sit down, the Grammys are starting. And everyone's just like, oh, it's already been going on for 20 minutes. I guess I'll tune in. So I mean,
Yeah,
I guess the Grammys kind of lost
it's
importance.
with so many award shows, even with all of the whether or not we're even going to talk about it, but at the with Will Smith at the Oscars, like even the Oscars, like how many people actually sat down and were like, okay, so I was watching the Oscars and at like, an hour into it, he slapped him. Like everyone's always like, okay, I saw that one clip from the Oscars. And I feel like it's the same with the Grammys. Like I've never really watched. And now, especially with like, I can just look it up. Like I'll just see.
Exactly.
Like I'll just see the people who win. Like I'll see the speeches of who I want to watch. But am I really gonna watch Olivia Rodrigo collect like 3 or 4 awards for an album I've never
To
listened
me,
to?
it's the same as like when people like watch like the draft of like NFL football or NBA basketball or MLB baseball. It's like, why would I sit through the draft when the
You
day
can hear about it later.
exactly the day later it's going to be the entire list of who got traded where from where? It's like, why would I ever spend 2 hours watching that?
Yeah.
It's a waste of my time. So now with the Oscars, I'm seeing the internet at work at their worst. These are some of the most heinous, mean memes I've ever seen.
I think they're great.
Oh, they're great.
I
But
think they're great.
there's been times where I'm like, I literally went like this. I'm like, Jesus, they're tearing. They're especially going after Jada because she's an easy target. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you're right. I have a question for you though. Do you think Chris Rock deserved it? Because personally, I don't think so.
Oh no. You see Will Smith's laughing. He's like, then Jada goes, and he's like, all right, I guess now I gotta slap Chris Rock. Yeah, actually, there was like a bidding war between Disney Plus and Netflix for like a Will Smith biopic or Will Smith movie, and they both were like, all right. And then now that movie's kind of in dead water right now in his whole career. Like he had maybe like 2 more movies in production that were getting like Bad Boys 4. And
no.
Yep, that's in
Love
limbo.
that series.
Yep, which is I mean, he's only been making movies for like 30 years at this point. I think we have enough Will Smith movies to get us through this.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, though, just with the whole situation, I think it was taking out of extreme proportions, really. So,
and everyone blew that up.
Yeah, everyone blew it up. The memes, though, some of the most brutal things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and there could have been worse jokes to make. I feel like.
Oh, there definitely could have been worse.
And also, not to like say anyone with this like with her like condition,
alopecia.
Like not to like go like not to make it like whoever has it like, oh, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal, but in comparison to other stuff, I feel like there's worse things to say. It's not like she has like
she's not in a wheelchair.
Yeah, it's not like she has a terminal illness or anything.
She's bald. She's a bald millionaire. Let's not get that twisted. She's bald, married to Will Smith. Okay.
Her son married.
Okay. entangled to Will Smith. Her son, that's the Karate Kid. Okay, that's Jaden Smith. Okay, her daughter, that way my hair back and forth, all that, dude. You could chop one of my arms right off, hand me $1 million. I'd be like, that's why I got 2 arms. I wouldn't be mad, dude. If my hair started falling out and it was as rich as her, I would have no complaints. You call me G.I. Joe, buzz cut John Cena, Make a Wish. I don't care. I'm good.
No, I just thought it was all crazy, and we were talking about it in class, and I was just like, well, people were trying to justify like, oh, maybe that, like I was making the point that, well, out of all the things that's happened between like their marriage, that's the thing you react about on national television. I'm like, really?
Also, I feel like the people are kind of endorsing, oh, so if a comedian offends me, I can just slap him. So like Chris, it's like, you offend me right now, I'm just gonna reach over this desk and I'm gonna start slapping you.
But I've offended you multiple times.
Okay, so I'm gonna slap you multiple times now. Yeah, and then Amy Schumer, very talented comedian, very talented, very funny person. She says she's triggered and traumatized from these events. Are you triggered and traumatized, James?
No, honestly, like I think that overall, like at this point, okay, he shouldn't have done it, because we can all I feel like we can all reasonably come to the agreement that if he didn't slap him, we wouldn't be talking, like it would not have made headlines. So I think
that's true.
We can definitively say that like slapping him was like too far. Like, and I feel like most people, we should all be able to like agree with the fact that like, okay, like, because the only reason like we're talking about it, the only reason people aren't like, I think Chris Rock took the joke a little bit too far, is because Will Smith automatically like just took it like to another level.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
But I really do miss is that, here's the thing, like these are celebrities, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like we have given them this power to like trend for just like slapping people in the face. Like it's funny that you mentioned, like right now, if you really did just like reach over the table because your friend like made a bad joke and slapped him, like what would happen? You're gonna get 6 national news headlines talking about how you slapped someone.
No.
You know what I mean? Like I miss when celebrities could just do like really weird things and we can just point and be like, gosh, like celebrities really just live different lives. You know what I mean? Like, I wish we could just get back to like those celebrities.
Also, everyone's like, oh, this is the most violent, the most disgusting Oscars ever. If you guys know, Marlon Brando, when he won the Oscars for his role in The Godfather, he actually sent a Native American woman in his place so that she has a platform to talk about like the Native American genocide that was taking place at the time. John Wayne, I believe he was a prominent actor at the time, had to be pulled back by 6 different security guards because while she's giving the speech, he wants to go over there and start hitting her because he just does not care for Native American genocide. So this is not the worst Oscars we've ever seen. And as the Oscars keep going, I'm sure we'll see something worse in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
And also, out of all the things going on, you're gonna
Exactly. Ukraine's still getting invaded and all that.
like there's worse things going on in the world. Also, like I guess Will Smith had some remorse for his actions.
He apologized.
He apologized, but like again, there could have been a better way to address that situation. Like maybe talk to him after. It's like, listen, my wife didn't appreciate that. Blah blah blah. And maybe like, listen, Chris Rock is a comedian. Like he obviously looks to get a laugh out of everybody. He would have probably understood because sometimes comedians. I've heard comedians say much more worse than what was said on.
You ever listen like guys like Joe Rogan or Bill Burr?
Yeah, perfect example. You hear way much worse, much worse,
and it's funny.
No, it's true. It is funny, but it's just it's worse. It's worse is way being said on like comedians' behalves when they're doing their shows. Like I bet for Chris Rock, that was probably like a little bit of a show for him. Like obviously he wants to get some laughter. He's not going to be boring, but also like. Yeah, the joke was a little offensive, but again, worse things to be said.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I would even go as far as to like, this is obviously like most importantly, like if he handled it privately, like this would be a different thing. Like,
yeah,
obviously we don't know what's going on, but it's also one of those things where it's like I've never seen people be like so upset. Like the public outcry is a whole other thing about this. Like people feel like personally attacked that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Keep in mind, and I actually heard a really good take about this while I was at my radio station. If you look at some of the like people who have won, like Woody Allen has not had any of his awards removed, and he's been like charged with assault. Like
Harvey Weinstein probably has 80 awards, and he's a monster.
And he's like in jail, like, and people have never been, like, well, I think like, and I hate whenever people are like, oh, like we need to like, Will Smith's gonna get like hit by this cancel culture wave. It's like, no, he's not. Like, people are just overreacting because they like overreacting. But at the end of the day, like, of all of the things you're gonna say, like, well, Will Smith has damaged like the mental health community because of doing this. It's like, but Louis C.K. just took home like for his best comedy album after he admitted that he was like assaulting other people. Like, he took home like I think he also for his like comedy album got a Grammy. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's right. It's like, of all of the things, of every single news headline that we could put up there, we're gonna put another like 7 down that like Will Smith has like done this terrible, terrible thing, instead of just like talking about how like, okay, like he probably should have just handled it like better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it really is so strange to see like how everyone like has their different ways of like reacting to this.
I will say, gangsta move to slap the host of the Oscars and then win 120 minutes later. I mean,
you saw that from a meme after. I know for a fact.
Okay, but I'm paraphrasing, Chris. That is amazing. Okay, so let's get off, Louis C.K. and all these weird guys. Chris, I heard you have a very important question to ask.
My important question.
Yeah, and now remember, please do not use profanity when asking this question.
No, of course. So, I've brought up an interesting topic to many people, and some people think I'm crazy, and some people agree with me. When people wipe, like when they go to use the bathroom, now you're gonna think I'm crazy. Why you guys have your heads down? I don't know why. Do you wipe?
I'm trying to see Andrew. I'm trying to see his reaction.
What, his reaction? Let me see. Oh, he's laughing.
Let's get Andrew.
It's nothing bad, I promise.
Yeah.
So, do you wipe sitting down or standing up?
Well, I mean, I sit.
But
He has the stick. He has the stick.
For those who can't see right now, I am being gonna be rewarded after this. But anyway, wiping sitting down or standing up. Personally, when I'm in the comfort of my home, I stand up when I wipe. I don't care. And some people agree with me, and some people think I'm crazy. Like Capola.
I don't think you're crazy. I just think it's strange because, like, so you're just sitting, like, you're just standing, pants around your ankles, just wind breezing in the bathroom, just doing your business.
I'm in the comfort of my own home. Why not?
I mean, I guess, but I'm like, you're already seated, and why are you going to add another step of getting up?
Sometimes it's just the fact that you can do things.
Exactly.
And like, come on. I'm not taking a stand on this.
Oh,
No,
you're not?
on, I need to hear this.
I think you look like a standard, James.
You have to admit that, like, when you're home, like, rules are different. Like, the game has changed.
Exactly.
Even if there's family home, like, it's a different world in there. Like, there are things where it's like, I could never, like, if I was in the real world, like, I'd be arrested on the spot. Like, no one would question. 911 is on speed dial. But, like, you're in the home.
Yeah,
no comment.
Exactly. I don't see the problem with that. And people look at me like, you're crazy. How do you wipe standing up? I'm like, I just do it.
I hit comedian Chris Rock in the face.
But isn't your arm all twisted? Like, how do you?
What do you?
Okay. Well, okay. We're done with Chris's question. Okay. Well, thank you, Chris, for that. Andrew looks like he's having fun with this. But let's be honest. But we're gonna move away from this topic. So.
Fun show.
Oh, we're ending. Okay, we're gonna end on. Let's end on that. Let's end on that before it gets any worse.
That was really good. Thank you for tuning in for the last show. We really appreciated all the time we were able to have.
All right, I'm seeing some fans outside gathering. I think they really like Chris. Probably. Yeah. Okay, and all right, we got to end before one of them flips off through the window. All right, we've been listening to the Voice Box. This is Mike. And that's James.
Guest host Chris.
Guest host Chris. He won't be back.
I will not be back.
Chris isn't coming back.
Was I not supposed to